Nick Ferrari really captured a Treasury Minister called Emma Reynolds, I believe, about the cost and effect of the Lower Thames crossing that's been going on for years, bearing in mind. He asked her where it began and where it ended, and she didn't know. She didn't know about Tilbury Docks. She couldn't answer his question. And he asked about costing. She said, well, it's going to cost a lot of money. And they've put £520 million away, which is going to pale into insignificance, really, when you think they've actually spent £250 million on planning, paperwork, just producing paperwork, not a spade in the ground, not a harder hat worn, not a visibility jacket to be seen, no cement arriving, nothing happening. This is paperwork. They've actually spent more on the paperwork for the Lower Thames crossing than Norway spent for their planning and the construction of the longest tunnel in the world. And she couldn't answer any questions. This is how inept these people are that are in charge of the purse of the country. Let's have a look at some other examples. HS2, it's not even running yet. It's the most expensive railway line in the world. Not least of all because they've spent 121 million on a bat tunnel for bats, to protect bats. Because they're concerned about bats that live in a wood nearby. Not the wood that the railway line goes through, but another wood nearby. £121 million for a bat tunnel. Let's have a look at some more. Hinkley Point it's set to be the most expensive nuclear power station ever built by man. And not least of all because EDF are currently arguing with planners because they want to build an underwater disco for fish. An underwater disco to keep the fish happy, acoustics, underwater, so the fish don't swim up the exhaust. And that's taken years and millions of pounds. The worst, I think, is to reopen a disused railway line, 3.3 miles long, from Portishead to Bristol. It's already set up, the infrastructure's there. And there's an 80,000 page document on this, 80,000 pages, 1,000 pages of which are dedicated to talking about bats. 1,000 pages on bats. Just to put it into perspective, 50 Shades of Grey is 520 pages long. So you'd have to read that twice just to digest the information on bats. And you wonder why things take so long in this country. Bearing in mind, going back to the Thames crossing, the Thames crossing began, the paperwork began before the Norwegians decided to have a tunnel. This is the country that we live in. And this is why it doesn't work, and this is why we need Doge, and this is why we need investigating from council level to government level, because they are spaffing taxes away on waste. We are wasting our time. The people in charge are pen-pushing idiots. I've seen more brains on the Ripper's hammer. It's unbelievable how numb these people are. They're absolutely clueless, and they're in charge of the money in the country that's produced by taxpayers. They make me sick.